Yo guys, welcome back to Skyliner Builds, and today just a small guide between, but the real builds come out in the next few days, 2 Magicka builds, and that's extra build for you. It's a pet build, works pretty good for the PvP and yeah, for kiting around and high DPS. I'm really surprised this pet build makes a good damage. Yeah, and we're gonna watch how to play a pet build. First introduce you to the stats, then like sets, champion points and skills like opinion. Aye. And yeah, let's see the character buffs. We got the Salted Dwarf, the familiar buff active on all 3 bar rotations. Then Major Prophecy, because in the late I use just on my main bar this time, but it's needed, I explain it later. And the Vampire Stage 2 is the best choice option, because there I don't want to lose both 10% of recovery and just for nobody can one-shot me with this build, because this sorcerer got over 26k of health. I used the Mage, which boosts up pretty the whole Magicka pool, which is pretty high on this build. And I use blue food, that's my preference food, max health and the max Magicka. Champion points 888, 8 is my lucky number, so 3 times 8, and here we go with the character. I put 64 in Magicka, and we got 51k of max mag with just 1000 of recovery. But there the build got other functions for I got dark conversion for gain my big pool on up, and I never run out with Magicka on this build. The higher are the Magicka, more you make damage, and more harder are your shields, and that makes pretty lowly for this build. This is not everybody like to playing a pet build, but I recommend because it makes so much fun to play. And yeah, a 26k of health, that's high. And the stamina also, I made it all perfect with the champion points then for the dodge roll reduction and all. So 60k of stamina with dark conversion, which cost just 2000. I can heal me up and get back my both health and Magicka pool full on up the whole time. If I'm in the emergency, I just dark converge 4 or 5 times and I'm full, and here we go again. It takes me maybe 5 seconds, but with this shield stacker build too, it's no problem. Even the shield are protected by your familiar, and so this is 2 versus 1. I can keep up this nerfy pet the whole time, and my competitor are weird, because this one stuns him the whole time and makes a huge damage, because higher are your Magicka pool, higher damage makes your pet. And may you laughing now about the build, but I say to you like a dual build perfect. It's irritated too much. And 2300, that's not much, but if I'm gonna buff up, we got a 2700, that looks not so high like my highest DPS Magicka pet build, Nightblade, but 2700 with 51k hurts a lot. I didn't think it hurts a lot. And 42% of crit goes okay. Spell resistances and physical are a little bit low, like the crit resistances, but as my shield are really high, I don't. I'm a really good, how you say, shield stacker player, and so you can be sure that on my main bar are Harden Ward, which protects me 33% more and protects the whole time also my familiar. There you can be sure that I never go down also with this low crit. Believe me, with over 50k of Magicka, which higher are you pull, more damage you make. This build hurts a lot. Together with the familiar hurts a lot, and 1 versus 1 everybody got into trouble with this build because the familiar is really irritating. And the resistance is also 60 and 49k, but this is no problem for me because there I'm a really good shield stacker build. Shield stacker, I'm a really good shield stacker player, I wanna say, damn. So I keep up the shield every 6 seconds, and you can be sure that that saves my ass. Also on my getaway bar I got Harden Ward, so with this familiar. On my back bar I got a little bit less, maybe 2k less Magicka, because there I need my skills, which are more important than 2k Magicka. If slot the inner light 2 on the back bar, it's not good because the skills are too much needed. But with your healerstaff, with a heavy attack, that makes a huge damage. Not a huge damage, I'm sorry. You regain a lot of Magicka back. And so also 26k, that's much and it's lovely. The resistances are really similar. Yeah. And let's see on the getaway bar 3, we got the same shit. Yeah, we got similar states, 49, 26 and 60k. And if you're gonna weapon damage and resistances, 26 spell damage, 2600, and 60 and 40k, same. Yes. For the sets I fly just quick on it. Slottable blue food detection. If you want to profit from something other you can, but on this build it goes okay. I'm happy without a huge the stealth, and if the immo pots are always the first choice. But now I spend million in gold just for pots. So the whole gold which I got I use in pots, and always low on pots for showing detection, for example. They are also expensive for me, which because my builds cost also much to show always. The sets, let's see, a Shuttle Breaker Inferno. Nirnhoned 15% pushes up the whole damage. That you can be sure in the Clockwork City will come out on the top from all weapon styles, and Nirnhoned with a Magicka damage glyph for undead. There you can push also the shock damage, which may be better, but I swap too often the glyphs for different builds, so this is may not optimized. On this build you can reach over 60k of max mag if you want, if you use also the bound ornaments, or how you say them, for gain another 8% of max mag. And also I don't have the major guild passive, which when you use the ice comet and inner light on your main bar, so you reach over 12% of an additional Magicka on your pool, and so you reach then really over 60k. I already did that, but then if you use the skill like bounded ornament on your main bar, inner light and bounded ornament, that's too much with the pet build together. Wanna be like a dream if you can do that, but then the skills and the whole rotation bar is not anymore possible because eat too much slot spaces, because the bounded element I have to slot then 3 times. If not, when I bar swap I lose then the bounded ornament and the whole 12% of Magicka, additional Magicka. Also the same problem with if you play a pet build, you have to sacrifice on every bar one of the summon familiar. If not, when you bar swap you lose them then. So also on the 3rd bar are this one. I never wanna lose him. This is my trump. My trump, man. What are you talking about, man? Pretty fucked up I'm today. This is a freestyle video. Don't give a fuck, man. On the back bar, shuttle breaker restoring stuff with the magic damage glyph and restores Magicka. Empower it, because the whole heals are better than, you know. Empowerment very important for me. Then the shuttle breaker, a light hut with the 3-stat glyph in infused. Here we go with the infusion, because I wanna push up all in max Magicka, so my hardened ward are the sturdiest and my DPS the most. Robe of the Necropotence. Bam! 3-stat glyph. Domihaus Pauldron Divines. Okay, stamina. I didn't change it. Put a Magicka enchant on up. This gives both the stamina, because I want a dark conversion the whole time. This gives me this one, because yeah, it's a half of a dark conversion, man. 1000. And then the other is Magicka, the only piece with 2 different traits, like also the shackle breaker pushes all up. Stamina and Magicka. For this makes also really lovely. Shadow breaker sash in infused. This is a whole infused build, man. Max mag. Also the feed in medium, because there I run 511, so I gain another 6% from the untaunted metal passive, which is 6% from the all stats, health, Magicka and stamina. So you have to think about it when you go in the PP and you wanna make a robust build. 311 are always a good option. Shoe of the Necropotence in infused. And yeah, the ring, all spell damage, all necro. So this buff, if you want to see the traits, a max mag, a max mag, a max mag, and 3000 max mag when the pet is active. So you protect them with the hardened ward the whole time. When he die, you lose your additional 3000. Then you have to recast him, and recast him costs a little bit of time, but that's also good. Okay, it takes a little bit of practice to get off this build, but it's so fun to play. I believe me, man, this is so cool. Then Shellbreaker Hut. Yeah, what we told. The only heavy piece is the shoulder. If you use a shoulder or a head, it's the same resistances. So otherwise, I prefer here a heavy one and there a light one, but I didn't have the domihaus in a good trade, so I made it like that. And what I have to say, I don't run with, I don't have a monster set, but I have all 3 sets on all bar active, the bar, and that's how we wanna run. I don't wanna bar swap on another bar and don't have the 5th trade of my 2nd set, so we don't make bullshit, and I have all buffs on all 3 bar rotations active. So I like that. All same on 3 bars. Let's fly into the champion points. There is a little bit different today. What is always same is for breaking free, this 15%. You need that in the PvP, and that's a sorcerer especially. Also, if I got 60k of stamina, which is high for a Magicka, 15% is really much needed. And when you bash, you can sneer him, also a little bit reduces. And then Arcanist, this is a little bit wasted, you know. Take off a little bit from here, 1%, so maybe 20 points, I don't know, and put it inside on tenacity, because there I heavy attack a lot and increases, gives back. This is all my resource management. Yeah, with the skill dark conversion, and that's my only resource management and works perfectly. Synergizer, okay, when you, and that passives. Then the tumbling, the same. Also 15% for the dodge roll, makes lovely on a sorcerer build, and shadow ward, 10% rounded off block cost, reduces when you block important. And yeah, then now here, this makes so hurt. I wish so many points more for boost up the build, but it's not possible. So we put 56 in the Elfborn for a 20%, and 11% just is the first time which I have less like that, but I wanna lock off the exploit the passive with the skills then. And Master of Arm for direct damage, and but not the dots over time, but it's okay. Now here Thaumaturge 75, because I need this passive here of balance, and my skill I came pretty, there is of balance a lot of time, and so I prefer 10% better from here than a 3% from here, so I gain a 7% additional damage. I economize that a little bit also if that hurts. I wish to put always 100 in Elemental Expert, but this time, if you got a lot of time of balance, so you profit from that now. And watch is pretty awesome for your haunting curse. A huge damage with the pet together, so I try always to find out the optimum for my build. Iron Cloud reduces a 16% of direct damage. This is important for all the flying balls from other sorcerer, and so this is the opposed from the Master of Arms. You see I make more damage, and I wanna take less damage from this opposed tree. And 39, this is my only crit. I push a little bit here inside. I'm a really good shield player, and I got enough Magicka for shield me up also the whole time, between also heavy attacks and yeah, escapes. And thick skin just a 5%, and hardy 9 and 9, so when I crit I can heal me up. When I'm hitting also I heal me up, I think. Yeah, that I didn't show it before. So when I crit strike come in, heals me also up for 300, and when I crit also for 300, so as well as Orgrin. And Unchained I don't have for this build, but that goes okay. Bastion 20% for my both shields, which I find pretty important, because that's really important for get up your friends in the PvP. Without that sometimes you really die. And when you are okay, that's I don't got, and I give this infusion also. Let's go see on the skills. So skill bar 1 I put in the light because I can expose the enemies around a radius of 6 meters for 5 seconds, cannot return for 3 seconds, and while it's slotted I gain a 5% of Magicka, which with the necropotence build pushes up the whole thing. And the important for this I choiced it, the major prophecy increases 2181 of crit, so I crit more, and when I press it you got also from your major skill stacks up sometimes 20% more of magic damage. So this skill I try to do Magicka builds without inner light in the future, but for the pet skill still needed, and also for increases the whole Magicka damage also by the passives. Then the Daedric Prey, that's the curse dealing a 30k of damage, explodes when the crit is pretty cool, so over 20k buff, and the target on nervy enemy another also when the crit, that's cool. And now why I use that, this is not for the bomb over time, but because that pushes up my only pet. While the curse is active, your pet deal additional 55% damage, except your Storm Atronach, but that I don't have, so this makes the difference of my pet, the damage. More magic I have, more damage makes the familiar, and also with that Daedric Prey works perfect. Then the Summer Volitan familiar, which makes the shock damage, can crit, and when it's active I can press the button, and so he makes 8-time explosions which crits on your enemy. So when you're fighting that disturb your enemy, and this looks the final pulse will stun him also for 3 seconds. That's ugly. So also like the hunting curse, I try to keep up that the whole time. These two things are the whole time on the enemy for take him there on work, and so I can do concentrate me on my DPS, and he have to worry about his healing up, because that interrupt the whole time, make damage, I make damage, I interrupt, and it nerfs pretty much up. And the Harden Ward because protects me, I have to keep up that on my main bar, if not I cannot stay here and push up my DPS, because protects me and my pet, most important skill. And then finally Shock and Crush, because interrupts. Okay, first with this huge Magicka pool, I don't know why. Okay, my buff is not on. Damn. You see 3100 of Flame, Frost and Shock damage. That when this is crits makes a lot of damage. And while he's casting interrupt and set off balance and stun it there for 3 seconds. So set off balance, we know the 10% of additional damage. And important to say about that skill is I can interrupt everything with that. When the Night Blade wanna make some damage over time, or how can I explain the crushing shock? Okay, every time, everything which got a cast time by your competitor, you can interrupt with that skill. Also the ulti, so when comes in a soul assault for example, and I know his soul assault makes over 100k of damage, I just, and this is a channel time of by 4 seconds, I crush him there with that skill, and immediately is interrupted set of balanced fuck off, and I can start my counter then. And also by stamina characters like Snipes, which got a 1 second of cast time, I can always interrupt him so he can never shoot out his snipe. Or yeah, other things. Around in there when he stunned with made the familiar, and I pop that, he cannot go away, and 3 seconds when that crit, 3 seconds are like 35 to 40k of damage inside. I know that's the duration are 7 seconds, but they try to get off of them, you know, and the competitor, he sneak away, you know. But when he stunned it and I pop that 3 seconds inside, or just 1 or 2 seconds inside there, he's dead. And I killed with this pet build also 5-6 at the same time with that ulti, because they didn't believe that. This makes so much damage with this max off. I mean, you can make this build over 60k. Okay, it's not playable anymore, but I don't got the major guild passives, but if not, that build with the 4%, yeah, 53. And the Eye of Flame, because there on my main bar I don't have a really executioner, you know. Okay, this makes like a crushing shock my execution. Together with the Tedric Spray I can time it up, but and also you can time it up, you have to learn it a little. That on my back bar. Normal wise I have this skill on my getaway bar, but because I need also the familiar on my back bar, now the choice of the skills are a little bit different, but I tried out a lot of time and I find it out that both the three bar rotation like that are perfectly to play, because on my back bar are my boost bar, and yeah, skips both resistances and the movement speed over 7 seconds at 30%. Power Surge, 20% of the whole damage, increased spell damage, and heals you every time up for this 2700 when you crit. This is a really awesome skill which I need on the back bar. Then dark conversion, that's a huge skill because it's your heal and your resources back. So with the empowered healing stuff you can make heavy attacks, which gives a lot of Magicka back, 5k, but you can use also that. Dark conversion, let's see how many times I can use it. So let's see, I wanna lose all my Magicka is a bit, come on man, come on. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Almost 40 times, and every time when you use it you regain 5k of Magicka and also your health. Be aware, now you don't got any more stamina, you know, because you pushed up your pool, but on your escape bar you get then streak, which you can go away, and also on that bar you have that, and if you got streak you can always get away, and if you got enough Magicka you can always, you know what I mean, survive. And so you play around with that, with your high stamina and Magicka pool. The healing ward on the back bar, less health you got, the more heals you up, and if you shield that up, you get, that heals you up. The shield's range is increased by up to 300%, depends how you are wounded, and when the shield expires the target heals for 140% of the ward's remaining strage. So the remaining strage, what the hell means that? When I cast it and I meet a bar swap and I cast the other shield on up on this 6 seconds, and both shields go 6 seconds, you see. So make sure to cast that shield on up, and you got always the 100% of your health back, because the shield cannot go down. This is the shield, and then you protect your healing ward. Yeah. Same time, the voluntary family, which is my best friend, and yeah, explodes 8 times, then the haunting curse. Dang. I do a lot of heavy attacks with the nirnhoned, makes a huge damage, over 20k, man, believe me. On the back bar, power overload, because yeah, you see 90k of shock damage. Let's say you have 500 of ultimate, so you can really from far, that goes from far also, makes a huge damage. I melting down also big opponents, big tanks, over 40k of resistances with just the overload and I overload, I put down my runes, then I streak away. Then dark conversion, harden ward, streak away. Dark conversion, streak away. Harden ward, streak away. You know what I mean? The play? If I don't dark conversion between one streak for getting away, so I really run out fast, you know. 3, 4 streak, 5 streak, 6 streak, and it's over. Oh man, I have to cast back my Magicka. Fuck. So you have always, you got obviously also your pots between, but that's not enough. Also that costs really much. When you drink your pots, cost 80% less the magic spell, I think. So you first drink your pot and then you put down your Dedic Minefields, because that cost a lot. 5k, you know. That's it. In my opinion, the only funny way to play a pet build are a sorcerer. Okay, you can make a pet build. I did an infused Magicka build, which I got good likes also. This is my favorite Magicka blade, Mark blade, and he used the shade like pet, but the shade really don't make damage, and if you want to make a damage pet build, is recommended the sorcerer high elf, in my opinion, and it's the only way for play it realistic. If not, you lose too much DPS then.